It's the long-awaited return of one of the biggest rivalries in the city of Minneapolis. DeLaSalle and Minnehaha Academy, standing room only. And this is all before the girls' game starts. We've got a girls-boys doubleheader. The girls will go first. But if that doesn't tell you how big basketball is in the city of Minneapolis, I don't know what will. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by LaToya, Turk. LaToya, everyone excited to take part in the revival of this rivalry. It goes back to the days in the Tri-Metro. There were a lot of heated battles. What makes this event tonight such a big deal?
Well, first it's a doubleheader, so we get to see the ladies and the guys play tonight. And then we just have some really heavy hitters on both teams, some high scorers, some girls who are leading in their section and their conference. So it's going to be a nice game tonight. Indeed,
a lot of perennial state contenders among the girls and boys. Let's start with the girls since they go first. For the Redhawks, a perennial in Section 4-2A, and it's no different this year, especially with the evolution of Mia Curtis. She is in the top 10 in steals, assists. This kid can do it all.
Absolutely. I think that taking some time and playing over the summer with Stark's team has really helped her improve. Sparring against Paige Buckner, like you can definitely see the improvement from her last year to this year.
And not only that, she can knock him down from three-point range. That's not too shabby for a southpaw.
Absolutely, and she's only a junior, so we get to see her for an entire another season.
DeLaSalle with a lot of younger pieces as well. Nora Francois back from an ACL injury. They lost Elena Jones earlier in the season. She's going to Idaho State, but we mentioned Nora Francois. Nurjei Weems is coming along, and ever since Tanisha Scott took over the DeLaSalle program, an element that they have excelled in is defense.
Absolutely, and Tanisha Scott has some real heat over here. You know, at the beginning of the season when Elena Jones went down, the other girls stepped right up, and she has solid players at the backcourt and underneath the basket.
And that was illustrated with some big wins over Cretin-Durham Hall and more recently Holy Angels, who has Frankie Vassalero. Tanisha Scott said team defense is the key to success, and if they want to beat Minnehaha, that's going to be the key tonight.
And we'll see them put that full court press on, and Mia's going to definitely need some help to get that ball up the court tonight.
DeLaSalle and Minnehaha played each other a year ago. The Islanders won that round. We'll see who comes out on top this year. We'll be back for the starting lineups. You're watching high school girls basketball.
If you'd like to sponsor a TSP television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSP television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage.
Welcome back to DeLaSalle High School. The Big D on the island of Nicolet. Standing room only, LaToya. A lot different than a year ago.
Oh, right, but this is a long-seated rivalry between these two programs, and I expect to see this from here on out. This is what this gym will look like between these two teams.
The girls revived this rivalry last year, and I talked with Tanisha Scott for a little bit. It's not one of the teams she circled on the calendar, even though Minnehaha was in their conference for years. She looks at Benilde and Cretin and Holy Angels as the biggest rivals for the Islanders. But when you look at the atmosphere, I don't think you can ask for much more.
Yeah, this is not a coach's game, but this is a game for the girls, for the athletes, and for the fans, the alumni.
Right, because all the alumni who wore the black and gold or the red and white, remember those battles with the schools, just a few miles apart. One along the Mississippi River, one in downtown Minneapolis, not far away from each other. And
today we are on the island.
And much like the DeLaSalle Cretin series, this is one of those annual events. Well, we hope it will become an annual event again. I know Josh Thurl last year when we covered the girls' game told me how hard he was trying to bring back the rivalry, knowing how much it meant to these two schools, the bragging rights. For these two, their section seeds have already been set. DeLaSalle will be the 2 seed. They'll likely have to get through Como in the semis. Hill Murray, the 1 seed in Section 4-3A. Minnehaha, the number 1 seed in Section 4AA. Concordia Academy might give them a run with Yvonne Tensai and Lydia Lesher, but like a year ago, this is all about pride.
Right. And, both of these teams are going to play hard, so it really is going to be a little primer for them going into sections.
DeLaSalle, Nurjei Weems, keep an eye on her.
man, has she improved over the year. Last year we were talking about if she was going to be a stretch 4 player or not, and now I think she's ranked in the top 15 in her class.
DeLaSalle wasting little time. Nora Francois coming back early this season after tearing her ACL late last year. She was the leading scorer for the Islanders a year ago.
And I know the DeLaSalle team, they're really happy to have her back. She can produce inside and outside. She's a phenomenal player to watch.
DeLaSalle, they have reached the state tournament 2 of the last 3 years since Tanisha Scott took over. But they have not been able to get through that quarterfinal round. And even though they're seeded second, Tanisha told me this has been par for the course. DeLaSalle starts off sluggish, and you saw this on Thursday. By the end of the season, they're more cohesive. That defense locks in, and it's tough to get by them.
Right. And even in the games, like they start off a little slow at the beginning, but they'll wear you down. One thing that DeLaSalle has is they have a pretty deep bench.
Minnehaha doesn't have that depth, but they have the pedigree. Nora Francois knocks down the 3.
That's what you call depth.
The Francois sisters, you may know this. Their neighbors are the Coleys.
Fun days.
In fact, I ran into the Francois last year when Iowa paid a visit to Minnesota, and Chase would not let Nora touch her. Savannah White. I'd like to buy a vowel. Had to get that out of the way. Another steal. White again.
And right away, Minnehaha wants to take a timeout. It's really nice to have Weems at the top of that press, that long wingspan. She can jump. She's going to cause a lot of trouble for those small guards at Minnehaha.
I'd like to buy a vowel. Savannah White, she already wants to solve the puzzle. A 10-2 start for the Islanders. That defense, as we were saying, it's so stingy, so tough to get by, and we're getting another taste of that here.
And the good part about it, like I said, you can just keep that press on because your bench is so deep. You can just keep recycling it.
And if DeLaSalle gets through Como, that section semi will be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Hill
It
Murray,
always is.
I have to imagine Hill Murray, they haven't played a lot of high-level teams. They got swept by Simley, lost the Metro East. I'm not sure about them being one, but as I said earlier today, the playoffs are a chance to prove yourself.
And you know,
if you're
Hill Murray
one, prove it. If you're not, find a way to prove that you belong.
Hill Murray's knocked off some pretty tough teams, and they're hungry.
Mia Curtis inside to Tatum Rhodes.
Great court sight there from Mia.
Well, remember, Mia, 4th in three-point field goals, assists, and steals.
Right, and I think she's averaging about 5 a game here. And Nevaeh's averaging about 2.5 blocks a game, so.
You've been doing your homework.
Nevaeh,
or you've been looking at my notes.
No, I did my homework. I love these two teams. Nevaeh also plays volleyball, so she tracks the ball very well.
And Nevaeh, healthier this season. I remember you and I did the Caledonia game where she dislocated her kneecap. Looks a little stronger down there. And she's got some range, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because she's second on the team in three-point shooting as well, right? Which is her college coach is going to love that. And now we got a 3-on-1. That's 2 times that we've seen her lose that handle on that ball. I don't know if it's nerves or sometimes the big man's used to getting it up.
Remember, a year ago, it was sort of an add-on or an extra game. This time, even though this game doesn't have any section significance, you've got a full house.
Yeah.
It's part of a doubleheader. White 3-ball.
That's a smart player there. She knows that rotation's a little slow getting over. She's just waiting in that pocket. We're going to see how many 3s she hits tonight on the zone.
But this is a big-time environment, and I imagine for most of these girls, this is the first time they played in front of a packed house. Well, not for DeLaSalle with the Cretan series, but for Minnehaha, I don't think they played in front of a full crowd all year.
Well, here you go. Game time.
And we've been seeing a few more of those. The Hopkins-Wayzata series this year brought the big house in both matches.
And I watched Miss Lockett play a couple of nights ago against Maranatha.
Kiani.
Yeah, and she, I was telling her dad, I sat in front of her dad, I miss her goggles.
I remember I first covered her as a 7th grader at Minneapolis South before she transferred. Had to sit out last year. we've got a foul that'll go on Tatum Rhodes. Keani Lockett, the first time she went out on the floor before she hit her growth spurt, I thought she looked like a 10-year-old. She doesn't look like 10 years old anymore.
Yeah, and I see Tanisha on her a little bit. I saw her a little on her in a Maranatha game. And
Tanisha takes it seriously, so she's not afraid to get on you.
Yeah, and she has that, Lockett has so many weapons. She wants her to use them. She's really trying to develop this kid.
Yeah, Tanisha's not afraid to get tough on you, but no one at DeLaSalle seems to mind. Nate McGuire, the South head coach, joked with me that I would be covering Hills all day, and not surprisingly, the entire Hill family is here after the Twin Cities game earlier, which was won by Como over South. I said that I'll be covering some form of the Hill lineage until I die or get old. Because Tanisha's daughter will be playing varsity soon. She's a 7th grader, already getting some time on the lower levels. PJ's got a daughter in 5th grade. Taylor's son, Maurice, went out at halftime of the South Como game to go up against another young basketball mite.
It's just going to keep going on and on and on.
I'm getting older, and they keep coming. 12-4 in favor of the Islanders. Nurjei Weems can't get around Galloway. Scramble for the ball, won by Weems. Up, count it.
And that's one thing that if Minnehaha doesn't control the boards, DeLaSalle will.
Nurjei averaging over 15 a game, season high 32. And going back to that rivalry, even though Tanisha may be more ambivalent, Matt Pryor, the new Minnehaha coach, said, I'm hoping this is an annual ritual.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I think we all would like that.
Great defense by a post player.
That was White. Galloway, or I should say Tatum Rhodes. Tatum recommitted, so after a coaching change at Upper Iowa, she will now go to Minnesota Duluth, so she'll join the Bulldogs. Weems draws a foul on New.
And
Matt Pryor furious.
That's gonna be a matchup to watch here during this game. Weems gets in position very well, and if you're just a little late, she has a really great drop step.
Well, it's good to see you're not salty about DeLaSalle's convincing victory over Maranatha a couple days ago.
Oh, no. You know I love girls basketball, period. I just love good basketball.
Well,
I want them all to win.
And while we're at it, feel free to give Andrea Dubose, your buddy at Mounds View, a ton of flack for missing out on this doubleheader. Actually, she has an excuse. Her fiancé is throwing a surprise dinner for her.
And you know what? She loves basketball just as much as me. I'm sure she's sitting at the table.
Wondering, thinking,
she's probably getting updates.
Here. Well, this will give you some time to give her some broadcast pointers for next year, because it sounds like Andrea wants to put her ego out there, put her ego on the line.
We want her to see her at a head coaching position somewhere. That's what we want for Andrea. And hopefully seeing her coach this summer for the few teams that she's coaching for, we can get her some looks here.
Nice take by Mia Curtis. Let's see if that gives the Redhawks some momentum. An air ball by Nora Francois. So that story I mentioned earlier, the Francois came out to see Chase in her senior season at Iowa. And as you know, the Coleys have a couple younger ones. Uh-huh. One needed a diaper change, and Chase was like, don't touch me, Nora, your arm. Chase was being her usual weird self, which is why we love her.
Mia's gotten Curtis. So much stronger. She was looking for the call there. She got sandwiched.
She did. Her idol is James Harden.
Yeah. I mean, she took several bumps coming down that floor, but no easy calls tonight. Let's see how well DeLaSalle will swing the zone here.
Mary Claire Francois will try to shoot over it, and it did everything but go in.
Gotta look up.
Tilia Graham's in trouble.
Hey,
timeout, Minnehaha.
Those Minnesota Mosquitoes.
Yes, the Mosquitoes. In fact, as I told you, I've come up with a new term. Annoyer.
I like piranhas.
Piranhas.
More like piranhas.
Well, a Neuer, if you're a nerd like myself, it's a reference to Pokemon competitive battling.
Okay.
I see Tanisha no less intense in the huddles, even though her team's up by 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's game time now. It's time to go. We're getting ready for conference. We're looking at state.
Tanisha,
But yeah, I like piranhas because they'll chase you down, and that's what this press looks like. They're actively going after the ball.
and you may have noticed in that huddle, Tanisha added a notable name to the coaching staff, Ashley Ellis-Milan,
Yes.
who took a job with the Lynx. She's an account executive. And when she took that job, stepped down from her role at Concordia, but still wanted to stay involved in coaching. And Tanisha and Ashley are longtime friends.
Great resource for these young ladies. Great resource for girls basketball, period.
Exactly. Ashley Ellis-Milan, a standout at St. Paul Central, played for the Gophers.
And DeLaSalle's not letting the Redhawks get in that lane at all. No calls there, huh?
Nothing. Tanisha and Ashley, to finish up on our little conversation, they're sisters from another mother. Probably the sisters they never had and never wanted. Those two like to have a little fun with each other. Nora Francois missing the three-pointer. Nurjei Weems, rebound, and will shoot two.
Hey, you can shoot all day when you got Weems underneath the basket. How do you stop her from doing that? Make her go over your back. Sit down, box her out, make her go over your back.
And going back to the post play, what Tanisha told me, the biggest asset, the biggest addition Ashley Ellis-Milan brings, she can show all the post players these moves. Tanisha can bring it up, and I'm sure she went down there, hung out with the Bruisers, probably averaged a double-double.
Yeah.
No, she hung out and passed the ball.
Yeah.
But Ashley Ellis-Milan can show them because she played that position, especially at St. Paul Central.
Great resource.
Yes.
And we have checking in for DeLaSalle, Sydney Runsway, who her dad is an Islander, an alumni of DeLaSalle, and Sid's a ninth grader. I coached with her dad, Afalabi Runsway, over at Washington my first 2 years in the St. Paul Conference. And she's coming off a knee injury here, but she is a phenomenal three-point shooter. So we'll see if she sits in that pocket like her dad did back on the island in the 90s.
It's a good point to bring up because a lot of the coaches, a lot of the staffers here, as Mary Claire Francois posts up and scores, they all come back.
Yeah.
Until recently, Adam Pribble was the athletic director. He was a DeLaSalle graduate. Tatum Rhodes with the take to the rim and a chance for a three-point play.
And that's exactly what you do as a guard. You see you got a big one-on-one, you take it right to him. And she did right that. But on this other end there, that left-hand put-in was nice.
Tatum Rhodes, 2 games with 20 points or more. And this Minnehaha team, they're no slouch. One of those 20-point games, 27 against Wilmer, a top 10 team in 3A, a game the Redhawks won.
We're going to need all 20 of those tonight.
Well, you've got Mia Curtis, too.
Oh, yeah. But, DeLaSalle has a plan for Mia.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
They're sticking on her like white on rice.
Sydney Runsway using the pump fake. You know what I'm going to say, right? It only works every single time.
Very smart heads-up play there from the ninth grader.
And that's the scary part with this DeLaSalle team. They've got a lot of younger pieces. Lockett, a freshman. Runsway, a freshman. Francois, Nora, the sophomore.
Oh, yeah.
Savannah White, a freshman. DeLaSalle, one of those schools, even though Faith Johnson-Patterson and that dynasty is now a memory, they find a way to reload.
And, I think, did Tanisha not graduate her whole starting lineup last season? Pretty much.
Most of it. Well, the Francois sisters were still there. Runsway. The runner. No good. Telia Graham with the rebound.
Smart heads up, though, to Mia jump. She went around.
Tatum Rhodes. The kick out to Graham. Up and in. And this is one way Minnehaha can get the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, that rotation there, that's what allowed that shot to happen. 3 Islanders ran out to the ball, and that just left too many people open and not enough to rotate.
21-12, a 9-point game. Weems, the shovel pass to Mary Claire. Francois, no good. Rebound. We've got a foul call, and we'll be on DeLaSalle. And Nurjei Galloway took a hard hit.
Every single game I come to for Nurjei.
And look at this, standing room only. And a lot of big names. Royce White is here. The Grays, Nika and Andre.
Coach Tamara Moore's here.
From Edison.
We got Coach Tara Starks in the house.
Derek Rubin, 1988 Mr. Basketball in Minnesota. His daughter plays at Park Center.
Yeah, it's stacked in here today.
A few coaches.
Nice crossover, nice move there.
And Minnehaha, they're finding some openings here, and after DeLaSalle's press got to them early, Minnehaha able to get back in this through their drive game.
And as a senior, that's what we expect Tatum Rhodes to do right. She's a vet to this program. She's played DeLaSalle before. She has the skill set to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket, so let's go.
3 straight 3-point plays for the Redhawks, and just like that, it's a 6-point game.
So I look to say today should bring Lockett back in here very quickly.
Mary Claire Francois is ready to get back in there. Noah Francois, elbow J is good. She's got a low arc, but it works.
And they're keeping that ball out of Mia's hands by any means necessary. They're face guarding her. And this is the same thing we talked about last year. She's got to get used to that, being face guarded and get open.
The problem for DeLaSalle is Tatum Rhodes is feeling it. And the more Tatum Rhodes scores, she's up to 10. They're going to have to respect her. That might open up some spaces for Mia Curtis. Nora Francois posts up on Galloway.
One thing that we know for sure, if she scores again, Tanisha's going to make an adjustment.
Well, Nora Francois making some adjustments on offense. She has 9 already. 3 ball. Galloway can't hit from the corner. Rebound. Went between a couple of Islanders. Now, I know you want to box out, but you don't want to box out your teammate.
It happens, though.
More than you think. Here's Leah Dennegrud, number 3. Finds Nurjei Weems, who cuts to the rim and scores.
And these kids have played against each other so many times during regular season and off season that they know each other. So they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. And so I think Weems knows that if she puts that ball on the floor, she has a very quick first step.
Weems, I understand, originally started her varsity career at Tartan before moving over to DeLaSalle.
Okay.
Francois blocked by Galloway. Weems with the recovery.
Very disciplined.
Weems and Nora Francois up to 9 for the Islanders. Some more names. Crystal Flint, the Cretin-Durham All head coach, was here last week as part of the Cretin-DeLaSalle series. Mia Curtis hesitates. Bullseye!
As soon as they switched and left her open. And that's what's going to happen to get Mia Curtis. They're going to have to run some sets to get some switches and get Savannah White off of her because Savannah's on her tonight.
Weems missing the 15-footer. Gallo with the rebound.
And so you'll see Savannah's going to...
Rhodes sees a lane, attacks and scores. They've got to get a body on Tatum Rhodes because she's blowing through everybody. Tatum will go to the All-Star Series next year, joining her older sister. Dennegrud for 3, rims out. Galloway with the board.
And now Mia's got the ball in her hands.
Minnehaha, they're not content. I think they're looking to avoid a repeat of what happened a year ago where they were sent out in running time. Driving unable to hit was Kate Pryor. She's returning for a shoulder injury. Kate, the younger sister of Matt Pryor, and the Pryors, a strong lineage with Minnehaha. Weems, rebound, put back.
What did I say? You can shoot all day if you have that kid underneath the basket.
And we get another year of Nurjei.
Yes. It's our pleasure, Miss Weems.
Gallo thought about a three. Denegru got to her in time. Kick out. Galloway for three. Close. Denegru with the rebound. And a foul.
I like the confidence in the big girls stepping out and shooting the three. Definitely a great skill set to add to your pocketbook there, ladies.
Tatum Rhodes for second, team 7.
DeLaSalle in the bonus. As we said, team defense, a big key for the Islanders. That's how they were able to shut down Frankie Vassalero on Monday when the two teams, DeLaSalle and Holy Angels, met for the second conference meeting. DeLaSalle, as a result, winning the Tri-Metro.
Congratulations, ladies. Not bad. There's only 6 minutes left in the half, and we're just now getting into the bonus, especially when you're pressing full court. Not bad at all.
Denegru averaging 6.9 a game.
So, you know, Savannah was doing such a great job on Mia. I probably would put her on Tatum right now.
Minnehaha coughs it up.
I'm just going to give some kudos to Savannah right here, Savannah White with the ball. She's actually playing great offense and defense. Sometimes it's hard to get that out of a player on both ends of the floor.
Tana Gallo getting the poke on Nurjei Weems, and she'll draw the foul after winning the scrum to the ball.
Should have some little ball guys come out, girls, and get that sweat up off the floor so the girls don't slip. I'm sure there's some young Islanders out there. Be happy to be ball girls.
Looking at this crowd, I think we have some room. Hi there, person of mysterious origin.
He wants your job, Mike. He wants an interview.
Well, Delayla Jacolas wants my job from Hopkins. I guess might as well start him young. Rhodes sees a lane. I don't know what happened there. All of a sudden, the front line just went by Rhodes. And
that's called a crossover?
Yes.
That's what that's called? That's called I'm feeling it today.
She certainly is. She's helping Minnehaha stick around as she draws the second foul on Nurjei Weems.
She's definitely going to be a topic of conversation in the locker room at halftime for DeLaSalle.
Tatum, the younger sister of Tara Rhodes. Tara playing D1 basketball at Fordham University.
That free throw is a little different looking there. It's where she's going to jump over the line.
Savannah White knocks down the three-pointer.
Minnehaha looked like they picked up the pressure a little bit on defense there, but still not enough for Savannah White. Still scored.
Mia Curtis through traffic, no good. Avery New blocked by Weems. Gallo can't hit the three.
I think pump fake. Yeah, that's what I just heard someone say. Pump fake. You know, DeLaSalle swarming out at you. Just pump fake and go around, and then you can take a more relaxed shot.
5 minutes left in the first half. Mary Claire Francois.
DeLaSalle is showing great patience on their offensive sets here.
And the Islanders take a 14-point lead. They've held the edge throughout.
They just need to clear out.
Tatum Rhodes had nowhere to go. And a sea of black.
And it looked like the Redhawks, as she went into the basket, no one collapsed for that rebound. And I think that might be 2 for Avery New.
Redhawks foul 55, Avery New, that's her third teammate.
Her third.
Stand corrected, her third.
Kangaroo at the line, shooting 2.
And being outside of that restricted area, just getting there and standing with her hands straight up, that the DeLaSalle player, Leah, wouldn't have had anywhere to go. So
Denegru gets the front end to fall.
nice free throw shooting there.
And the Islanders, not necessarily known as an offensive-oriented team, but they've got 40 in the first half here. The Islanders have won 8 in a row. The Redhawks have won 16 games in a row.
And, you know, being right around the corner from sections, they're probably running through their sets, you know, and this defense, the full court press, is generating some points for them. We see Miss Lockett's back in right now. We'll see what spark she brings off the bench this last 4 minutes. I think she's averaging almost 5 assists a game, so 5 assists means 10 or more points, depending on if it's a 3 or not.
21, Nora, Francois, her first team 7.
Maybe this is what Mia needs to get going, get to that free throw line, knock down a couple freebies.
Mia Curtis, as we noted earlier, big fan of James Harden, averaging 17.5 a game.
We're going to need Miss Curtis to channel her inner Harding tonight.
But more impressive, her assist and steal totals: 5.8 steals, 4.6, or 5.8 assists, 4.6 steals.
Which means she's playing defense.
Nora Francois is playing offense from three-point range.
Yeah, that's nice to have her back. It's nice to have her back.
That's her second triple. And a big help without Elena Jones able to go down low. And I'd have to say, Nurjei Weems showcasing her abilities without Elena Jones down there. She's had a lot of time in the paint, and it's showing.
I mean, they have a phenomenal post player coach with Miss Ellis on their coaching staff, and they have enough post players to be able to spar against each other. So, just makes for a great program for post players to play in. Normally, you have one, maybe two post players in your program. That's not the case here at DeLaSalle.
Tana Gallo missing both free throws. Nurjei Weems, though, picking up her third foul. So DeLaSalle's post extraordinaire going to have to ride the bench.
You know, when you're going after those blocks and you're that back person on defense, sometimes you do tend to pick up a few more fouls, but looks like she has some great assistance to pick up while she's taking a rest there.
.240 to go in the first half, 43-25. Again, not a score you're used to seeing on the part of DeLaSalle. They don't like to run up the score all that much.
Nice.
Nora Francois.
Very patient on that play.
DeLaSalle, they've hit 80 points just once this season, coming late in a win over Fridley, but most of the time, they don't run up the score. They like to wear you out on defense.
And like I said, with the rotation that she has, can do that.
Can't leave Mia Curtis open for three. Nora Francois unable to corral the rebound. (45-25). Islanders up by 20. Galloway can't hook up with Rhodes. Able to save it, though. Goes with the reverse and is short. Nora Francois comes up with the rebound. Mary Claire, her sister, with the finish.
That was beautiful. I was wondering if they're going to slow it down and run a set, or they were going to score quickly.
No, DeLaSalle really pushing the pace here. 3 on the way. That doesn't fall for Kate Pryor.
Lockett has great court vision.
We saw some glimpses of that at Minneapolis South as a 7th grader.
Yeah.
Nora Francois for 3. No good. And Savannah White
Did not get boxed
Right.
out. That's love.
What a move. Mary Claire Francois gets the hook to fall, and this DeLaSalle team, I think they're ready for another state tournament run.
Yeah.
Up
If you're-
by 49 points and a half.
If you're a post player, this is a great program to be at. These guards do not mind feeding you.
Gallo, 3-ball, corner pocket. An impressive performance nonetheless, though, for the Islanders, as it appears they're going to run one more play. And we mentioned the post presence and Ashley's arrival. You know, with her acquisition, she rejoins an old teammate of hers in high school, Danielle Ellison.
Oh.
The two graduated together. Denegroup for 3. Long. Another offensive rebound. And Nora had a couple of options. She could have fed Mary Claire. Instead, took it herself, and she'll shoot 2. What more can you say about DeLaSalle and their post players?
I could go on, but I'd be.
I know you could.
Yeah, I mean,
You could write an entire book on DeLaSalle.
post players, actually, post players, and
Are you sure you didn't think about bringing your daughter over here?
we're not going to talk about that. She said no more conversation about me.
I'm sure Tanisha could make room for her.
No more conversation about me.
Have to have a little fun there.
Yeah.
Nora Francois having a lot of fun. 16 points in the first half. Good if it goes for Gallo. It doesn't drop. What a first half for the Islanders. 51-28. I don't know if anyone expected that.
Oh no, I didn't. I did not expect that. But the Islanders are representing the black and gold tonight.
They are representing it indeed, and defense is the fulcrum of it, and that inside penetration of those post players.
Yeah, they're doing a great job defensively, and they're also doing an even better job offensively. So we'll look to see what adjustments they make on the Minnehaha side in the second half to see if they can cut that lead a little bit.
And we'll bring you the second half in a moment. This is high school girls basketball.
If you'd like to sponsor a TSP television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSP television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage.
Mike Peden back here alongside LaToya Turk, high school girls basketball. DeLaSalle and Minnehaha Academy, 51-28 is our score in favor of the Islanders. 16 points for Nora Francois in the first half, 11 from Nurjei Weems, 10 from Mary Claire Francois, 8 from Savannah White. And for Minnehaha, Tatum Rhodes, 14. Mia Curtis, though, held to 6. And as you noted, DeLaSalle, much like a year ago, keying in on Mia Curtis, and that has paid off in big dividends.
Yeah, and kudos to Tatum for taking a little of that slack and picking up the pieces while they're face guarding. But DeLaSalle's killing on the boards. They're getting rebounds. They're going right back up. They're getting to the foul line. They're just doing a great job defensively.
Now, how often have you gone to a game with a crowd of this magnitude?
Okay, I grew up in the 90s in the Minneapolis Conference. All of our games look like this, and we played double headers, and this is what the atmosphere was like. And I think the athletes would buy into the programs a little more if they had fans like this to show up in games like this.
I've seen some games with this crowd. White Bear Lake, Cretin-Durham Hall, boys, that was a sellout, but there was drives to go along with that. Mary Claire Francois can't hit it. Look who's there. Nurjei Weems, as you said, when she's out on the floor, you can shoot to your heart's content because she'll pick it up for you.
Yeah. That North Tartan game against St. Paul, South St. Paul.
The North St. Paul Tartan game a year ago. That's part of a district rivalry. So having a rivalry certainly helps, but for two schools that haven't played each other in years, to see a crowd like this says a lot about the history. Again, they're no longer conference rivals, but how many alumni grew up circling Minnehaha and DeLaSalle on the calendar?
Right. And you see a lot of alumni here. There's a lot of alumni here outside of just great high school girls and boys basketball players here to support other great players.
Lockett with the steal, and she's fouled by Rhodes. Nurjei hit both free throws.
Gosh, Lockett's about 90 pounds wet. I thought they were going to flip her.
Like I said, the first time I saw her play, I thought she was 10 years old, or she looked like that out there with the goggles. And she certainly is not the biggest presence out there, but I'm sure she's got some strength. So does Nurjei.
Weems was so open. She
so
too open for her.
I wonder if she just went up for it instead of going for the reverse, if that wouldn't have worked out. But they're just all over the boards. They are destroying Minnehaha on the boards. Redhawks swing it out. Mia Curtis can't knock down the three.
And Miss Lockett, if you bring back your goggles, we'll make them famous for you.
Nora Francois.
She's showing no fear.
Nora Francois knows how to make herself famous. Knock down some threes.
Yeah, in your face, knock down threes. That needs to be one of those instant replays, Mike.
Lockett going for the steal. Redhawks able to hang on to it. Mia Curtis almost lost the handle. Redhawks
Way to
little
turn
out
the
of
corner.
control. Nothing doing.
Taking a little contact there.
Still Minnehaha ball. There's the southpaw. 3-ball corner pocket.
One of the few times we've seen Minnehaha control the boards there.
DeLaSalle, they've got numbers. Sister, sister.
And here we go again. We've seen this situation before.
Tatum Rhodes doing what she can. But the Islanders up by 27. These are two top 10 teams. Nothing called there. I saw some contact. I might have blown the whistle, but we play on.
Look at the circumstance. Minnehaha's got to move a little, get that zone swinging. They got to move.
Gallo with the pump fake.
And they got to step in and want to take those shots.
Mia Curtis missing the three that time.
And on that possession, there were no Minnehaha players that moved offensively.
No, I didn't see a lot of movement there.
Yeah.
DeLaSalle, on the other hand, looking absolutely flawless tonight, although Weems missed the layup. Rhodes, no good. DeLaSalle looking for the leak out. Nora Francois chases down the loose ball, goes up on Galloway and will shoot two. And speaking of the alumni here, we mentioned Tanisha Scott. C.J. Holman also helps out, a graduate of this school. On Minnehaha's end, Matt Pryor, a graduate of the Redhawks, one of his assistants. Nicole Nipper, who played on this girls basketball team, graduated 6 years ago, got her undergraduate degree at Carleton.
And now she's back. You know, that's a really good look for your school when you have alumni who buy into your program while they're here and then come back to contribute to your program.
And Matt Pryor was telling me before the game, if there is anyone who would have a hand at restoring this rivalry, it would be their athletic director and former coach, Josh Thorough. That guy is synonymous with Minnehaha ball. And one of the biggest sports fans you'll ever meet.
Yeah, that's good to have at the head of your program. And so DeLaSalle just subbed Maya Williams in. She's a 5'10 freshman. This kid has strength out of this world. It'll be nice to see her develop into the program over the next couple of years, but she's definitely a go-getter. She wants to see more time, more floor time, so you're going to see her give 110%.
I've heard a few good things about Maya Williams.
Yeah. I mean, you can see her right now. She's talking.
Jump ball. Minnehaha with the arrow. .17 left in the second half. And from the looks of it, DeLaSalle is going to repeat their result from a year ago with a runaway win. And they're doing it by running the floor.
Yeah.
Going inside. They've got some outside production. This is not a style of play I'm accustomed to seeing out of the Islanders. Jenna
Quick
Group
release.
for three.
Nice. Nice.
Now they're just milking this. Now they're just milking this.
I'd maybe call a timeout and give my kids a mental break right now and let them know, just talk to them a little bit.
Tatum Rhodes not ready to take a break yet.
No. And now DeLaSalle is just going to run through their sets. This is the time to do that, fine-tune some things. Their spacing on the floor looks really nice. It's going to be difficult for other teams to defend them with that good spacing. But, when you have coaches at this level coaching you, they teach you those things, and it's showing. It's showing this program. And these girls are so young. Just wait for 2 or 3 years down the road what they're going to look like.
Even next year.
Yeah.
There's a Weems scoring.
Yeah.
And look at all the pieces coming back next year. The younger Francois, Nurjei, Galloway with the N1. That gets her on the board.
Yeah, they need to do something to get going here. And Nevaeh can definitely score under the basket, and she can score outside of the basket, outside the arc.
Nevaeh Galloway, the granddaughter of Nate Galloway, the longtime athletic director at St. Paul Central, spent a few years at Como.
Yeah, the great Nate Galloway. And she's the daughter of Amanda Galloway, who's a really good friend of mine.
And Nate was the best man at Willie Taylor's wedding.
Yeah, they're good friends. They are good friends. Live right up the street from each other. Or they used to. I don't know if they still do.
And Nevaeh going to Bemidji State next year, wanted to get that in there to continue her college career.
Nevaeh
or playing career.
Started her basketball career playing for my Minnesota Heat team. Avery New was on that team. A few of the girls from Tartan, so good memories.
It's funny you bring up Avery New because I got Jalen Suggs' dad, Larry, mixed up with Avery's dad.
Yikes.
But they all work with each other, and so Larry had some fun with it going over to Avery. Larry, am I your dad? Or Avery, am I your dad? She's like, it feels like it.
Oh, my.
We have a lot of fun. Whether it's highlighting your wondrous career at Washburn and DeLaSalle or...
Fun times. Those are fun times.
I want to see that video of you and Anessa Pregame
Oh,
going.
we battled. I mean, we both had great up and under moves. We battled.
Because Anessa's telling me she won most of those battles. You're telling me you got the better end of it.
Hey,
I want to see for myself.
She could play. She could play.
Well, her daughter certainly can play.
Oh, yeah.
And look at Park Center.
Tanae.
That tandem of Tanae Griffin and Adalia McKenzie. Look out. Those two are going to light up Park Center for the next few years.
And Frost running that point up there. That's a beautiful thing over there at Park Center.
Kate Pryor knocks down the three for the Redhawks on the other end. Dennegrud's three is short. Rhodes with the rebound. Redhawks looking to go in transition. Graham. Weems got a piece of it. DeLaSalle last touched it.
And maybe that's something that Minnehaha should look at is pushing the tempo and pushing the ball up the floor. DeLaSalle, they've been pressing and face guarding all game. Like, push the ball up the floor. Make them play defense, too.
Avery New posts up and will shoot two. That's the fourth foul on Weems, although with DeLaSalle up by 28. I don't want to say inconsequential here, but
yeah,
DeLaSalle has some breathing room.
Avery is the daughter of Gary New from Central in St. Paul, so she knows a little about basketball. She's played since she was very young.
15, Sydney Rhodes.
So it was nice when that group, her and Nevaeh, made the decision to go over to Minnehaha their freshman year.
Avery hasn't settled on a college yet. Missed at the line. Nora Francois. Out to White. Back to Nora. Up and in.
White facilitates at that point position very well. Very well.
And with that, Nora Francois has a new season high. You'd have no idea she tore her ACL.
No, not at all. We need to get her surgeon and her PT group on the line so we can get them an ad.
I just picked up another Patreon supporter, so hey.
Yeah.
But on the part of Nora and that ACL rehab, someone who can give her some advice about that, Ashley Ellis-Milan. Remember, she suffered one as a Gopher.
Look at Maya. Look at Maya. Smacking the ball like Andrea Adams.
I'll never forget when Andrea and your old Como team came out here against DeLaSalle. Not quite the sellout we had tonight, but it was one of the most intense games I've ever seen. Tatum Rhodes, 19 points. She deserves a few props.
Payback.
Not quite. Maya Williams in a sea of white, and it will be DeLaSalle ball.
Those two are going to be the Weems and Nora combo, where Sid can shoot and Maya can get the rebound. She had her hands on it.
Williams lost it. Tatum Rhodes picks up the ball, backs off. They feed it to Mia Curtis. Pump fake.
Yeah.
Like I said, it only
It
works
works.
every
How-
single
when does it
time.
work, Mike?
Every single time. And for Minnehaha, the game may be out of reach, but that's what you want. Get a few plays to go your way. But they keep leaving DeLaSalle open in transition, and Sydney runs away.
Wanted that bad.
Oh, yes.
She wanted that bad.
So this DeLaSalle team, it may not show up in the scoreboard, but this team can push it.
Oh, yeah. And she's not going to miss too many of those layups. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that.
And that is the last foul. Avery New is out of the game. So she'll finish with 2. It's been a frustrating performance for Minnehaha, but like a year ago, this is all about pride. So if you get beat, it's not going to hurt you. You've got the number 1 seed locked up in Section 4-2A. Sydney Renzue will settle for a split. 28-point margin. This feels like a Hopkins or Wayzata game and what they often do to other teams. Although Hopkins got a big win over Wayzata last night to lock up the 1 seed in Section 6.
Yeah.
And I would say they're the favorite to win state. If they get out of Section 6, I'm not sure. Stillwater might be able to hang with them, but that depth of Hopkins is something to be admired. Telia Graham will shoot 2. And I know you were excited to see this game. Wait until the next one.
I know. I saw a little highlight on social media of
Jalen Suggs.
Yes,
he got teed up at that North game.
Yes.
Well, the North fans were getting at him a little bit. He had the stare down. And those two, they play each other every year, so there's a history.
Oh, yes.
And both teams are looking to establish some here. Graham missing the free throws. Gallo knocks down the 3.
Minnehaha really needed that bucket, so hopefully they can go ahead and compete here these last 9 minutes.
And that's what I said. Just get a few plays to go your way. That's going to be a foul.
I saw a little bobble. I thought maybe we were going to get a traveling call.
Well, like Park Center a few weeks ago, even though they lost to Wayzata, 23-0 run, but they came back, made a game of it in the second half, made it interesting. And that foul is it for Tatum Rhodes. Tatum Rhodes out of the game, and she was the only player to have any kind of momentum for the Redhawks. Tanisha Scott's going to call a timeout for the Islanders. And speaking of sponsorships, we just picked up a patron. And if you'd like to do the same, we have two ways for you to do so. Patreon at patreon.com/TSB Television or through PayPal, paypal.me/TSB Television. A lot of great sponsorship options available. You can earn a follow from me on social media, get your name in the credits, even join me in the booth.
Great way to promote your business or any programs that you're running around the city. There are a lot of people who watch your YouTube production. So,
as I found out earlier this afternoon,
yeah,
the Hill's youngest son, Malachi, came up to me and said, "You're the guy from YouTube."
It's a great way to promote your program or your business is getting you a sponsorship on Mike's YouTube page.
Now, I know how much a fan of basketball you are, but how exciting is it to admire DeLaSalle's talent as a spectator as opposed to 2 nights ago when they were beating up on your Maranatha
but you know
Mustangs?
What? Still, I still admire it. I am not that type of fan or that type of, coach or commentator. I like great players. I like great programs. I love when I came in earlier to pick my daughter up from after school, and Tanisha was facilitating study hall. I love that. The girls, it's a all-around great program. So
Maya Williams going to the line, the foul on Nevaeh Galloway.
So I'm usually the one that cheers for both teams, and I have to sit like in the middle or by a friend, so I'm not in the wrong section.
That's how I'm going to feel when I go to the Gophers-Michigan State game next weekend.
With Miss Nia Hawley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is my tried and true strategy in a situation like that. I root for the team that's trailing.
I root for just good plays, smart head-up plays, disciplined players, execution. That's what I root for. Hustle.
I had a chance to speak with Ashley about what's going on at the Gophers. We both felt they should have beaten Maryland. It didn't happen, but
look at that hustle. Look at that.
That's Maya Williams.
Oh, and look at that defense.
Mia Curtis. I think she's a little frustrated here.
Yeah.
But on the alumni aspect, and you mentioned all the alumni coming here, Lindsay Whalen, everyone praised what she had done to build the connections that they felt were lacking under Marlene Stallings.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Lindsay Whalen has invited some high school teams, including DeLaSalle, to check out a Gophers practice and get a taste of what they're about. And Crystal Flynn, who's here tonight, told me Whalen is doing a lot to attract the younger alumni to come out.
Yes.
Ashley Ellis-Mylan told me the Alumni Day had one of the biggest gatherings in a long time.
Yes. I can remember us being here a year or so ago at Stillwater and saying, Minnesota, take a look at Scalia. And
Whalen did.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You got that
right
Sarah
away.
Scalia T-shirt, right?
Right away.
Well, you actually, if Stillwater makes the section final, LaToya will be alongside me. We can't say for sure yet because you've got to get through the first couple of rounds.
Yeah.
But it's looking like Stillwater and Cretin-Durham Hall could meet, and if the last meeting is any indication, whoever's running the score could get a workout. 101-93. 51 points for Franny Hottinger.
Yes, and funny story. Yesterday I walked into the operating room. I'm a surgical nurse for Alina.
You weren't operating on Franny, were you?
No, but her name came up. The surgeon says to me, Cretin-Durham Hall, Stillwater, 51 points. And I said, Franny. And the rest of the crew had no idea what we were talking about. And then the conversation expanded to the depth of Scalia and Liza coming over and the program that Willie's building out there. It was really nice to know that they have fans out here in the city.
Stillwater's among my most popular viewing option on YouTube. In fact, some of those fans even like your hairstyles.
Rightfully so, guys.
Mia Curtis knocks down both free throws. 8:23 to go. We've got a jump ball. DeLaSalle with the arrow.
And so right now with these last 8 minutes left and the score is the way it is, we don't want anyone to get hurt getting ready to go into section. So,
right.
Let's make sure that we clean it up and play basketball.
I don't think that'll be an issue.
Good switch there.
Lockett. Williams with the rebound.
She'll get that timing down. You can tell she's sparring against Weems. She can get up, get the rebound, go back up, get her some and ones.
So Minnehaha, I don't want to say rebuilding, but making that transition. All the kids, of course, really enjoying Matt Pryor and having that alumni connection with Pryor and Nipper. Helps with the transition. DeLaSalle, Tanisha Scott, she's building a program over here. Nora Francois, another putback.
Yeah, and I think that's what Tanisha wants to see out of Lockett is her pushing that offense.
Well, Scott may not have the state titles. Galloway with a push on Francois.
Yeah.
I imagine the Francois family may have held their breath for a moment after what happened to Nora last year. There's Lockett pushing again, and she'll shoot a pair, or at least one. But it may take a little while. When Faith Johnson-Patterson came in, of course, she had a couple of transfers come over from North. Alina Starr, who's now working for the Atlanta Dream and will work for the Atlanta Falcons in the fall. Tyshana Johnson, 2 D1 standouts. So
nice.
She had some help there. Not to say those titles weren't deserved as Lockett gets on the board. It's taken a little longer. Tanisha Scott, one reason behind that, she didn't want to bring her younger sisters over. She said, I don't want to be accused of nepotism, favoritism. I want to build this up on my own. It's taken a little while to get there, but I think DeLaSalle, after a rough start, the Islanders, they are going to be a perennial contender in 3A. I don't know if they'll win state. The one prediction you can make about Class 3A is that you can't predict anything. If you can get to state, you've got a shot.
Well, I'm not coaching, and I can have favorites.
I'm sure you can. I'm just saying you can't predict anything.
Yeah.
Robbinsdale Cooper. 5-second call on Mia Curtis. Robbinsdale Cooper. They won one game out of the first 6. Came back to win the Metro West Conference. Holy Angels, Frankie Vassalero. No one saw her exploding.
Right. Is she back yet?
Yes.
Great.
Although it didn't seem that way when DeLaSalle and Holy Angels met on Monday. They held her to 6.
Oh, well, DeLaSalle can do that to you, right?
Yep. Well, they did the same with Franny Hottinger and Cretin-Durham Hall.
Yeah.
If DeLaSalle can get out of Section 4, and I think they have a good chance to do it, and remember, they knocked off Matamidi twice in the last couple of years when Emma Grotehouse was leading the team. Savannah White.
And Matamidi is rebuilding. So
I spoke with Eric Prose. He said, we'll be back next year.
Yeah. That's huge for DeLaSalle.
And Como Park will still be around.
Yeah, there's no
that
Emma there
section
today.
next year, oh my goodness. How about that block by White?
I know, right? Nevaeh's my girl, so I'm not commenting on it. I think it was a foul.
I couldn't tell from up here, but you talk about Nora Francois not having any fear. How about Savannah White?
I think she caught her with the body.
We'll take a look at the replay and confirm it.
Yeah.
But Savannah White still, takes some guts.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you really like what this kid could bring. One of the freshmen to watch. And don't forget, Tanisha's got a daughter. And speaking of favoritism, there won't be any. Tanisha's going to be tough on her.
Oh, yeah.
As Coach Carter told his son, you will earn every minute of playing time.
Yeah.
And she told me, Kendall, she's going to have to compete with Keani Lockett, on the depth chart, a couple of others. So, if you want to play on varsity, you're going to have to earn it. But she's excited. She's can't wait to suit up in the black and gold on varsity and perhaps take part in this rivalry someday.
Absolutely. But the joy of it is she gets to sit and listen to basketball talk nonstop. The play breakdowns, the film. And so when it's time for her to put on that black and gold, I'm going to expect nothing but the best from her.
Pryor shoots the three. Looks off, and it is. Tessa Liner's in there for the Redhawks. They're having to play their bench a little more with 2 players fouling out, and we've got a foul on the Islanders. A wire-to-wire win, though, it looks like, for DeLaSalle. And my only regret is not being able to see them more often this year, but that's the problem I have every year when it comes to basketball. All these teams that want you at your games. Becker, you can add them to the list. I've never seen a school so happy to have me. And DeLaSalle enjoys having us here too, but now Becker's going to want me up there. You want to know why I'm pushing for Patreon and PayPal?
Yeah, so we can get to more games.
So I can afford the gas to get up to Becker.
There are so many good games and players and teams right now.
Before too long, Grand Rapids will want me to come up for a game. They've got another Hamline coming up.
You'll need teams.
Well, DeLaSalle's got a good one, and Nurjei Weems demonstrates why. LaToya, if you've got any connections, you may need to put out some feelers. I know you got me in touch with Andrea, but I might need a little more help.
Oh, I'm sure there are a ton of people who would be interested in calling some games. The problem is most of us have kids who are playing right now, and so that's the balance, you know.
In the case of our
kids'
compadre,
game.
Tisa Mitchell, she just had one.
Yeah.
I've often said I would never be allowed to quit, because if I ever stop broadcasting games, there will be at least 50 coaches and more parents that will come after me. Gallo splits at the line.
Yeah, you do a great job. We use your film for a lot, so I really appreciate
Tanisha
that.
Scott, Alexis Gray-Lawson, several others have told me the first thing they do, as Runway missing the runner, the first thing they do when scouting opponents, they don't type in the school name, they type in my name on YouTube.
I mean, I just had a coach call me and ask me for film on a team for Huddle Access, and I said, you know what, I think Mike has it up. I think they played a team, you know, and it's up on Mike's site. And, of course, it was.
Mia Curtis knocks down the step-back three. 16 points for her. I'm sure she would have preferred a better performance, especially in the first half, but I can't wait to see what she can do in her senior season.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine with Sarah Scalia graduating, she might be on the front runners for the 3-point field goal race.
I think most definitely she will, because she's in the top 5. She's in the top 5 right now.
Fourth.
Yeah,
Sarah Scalia is number 1.
Of course.
No surprise.
Of course. They should give her. They should count 2 3-pointers for when she's shooting back by the volleyball line.
I was covering the game with Eden Prairie, and then we came back. You may have seen the All-Star game or the Celebrity game where they had that 4-point line. Sarah Scalia would probably have knocked down a few of those.
Yes.
Ray Allen did in that Celebrity game. And if you want to go way back, for someone like Sarah Scalia or Mia Curtis, as Weems goes down low to score again.
Very patient,
You
Savannah
remember
White.
the Rock and Jock B-Ball Jam and those scoring pods?
Yes.
You throw those out there, I can guarantee you Sarah Scalia, Mia Curtis, they're going to launch 10-point shots, 20-point shots.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the score is 79-54 DeLaSalle, and Savannah's still not giving Maya any wiggle room over there.
Galloway taking a beating.
We're going to need to put that kid in some bubble wrap.
Free throws coming for Nevaeh as we await the nightcap to this fantastic rivalry. I know I can't wait for the boys. This was a fun showcase for the girls for DeLaSalle. And Minnehaha, you know, once again, they'll be dominated by DeLaSalle. Didn't get to running time this time, but it's just a testament to the depth and what Tanisha Scott has built. It's been gradual, which isn't easy to do in the era of instant gratification.
Oh, yeah. You know, when your kids trust you, they buy into the program, they stay, they bring their friends. And so that's really huge that you can see her program growing. That means that, you know, I say that everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. They've bought into it.
Galloway converts both free throws.
And she is. I mean, yeah, her kids look healthy. They look disciplined. They're patient. They communicate.
You saw how quick they got out on that press to start the game. They weren't fooling around. And
Get
they still
in there,
want more.
Sid.
Foul on Nurjei. And we'll go to the other end for free throws.
It'll be nice to see her develop over these next couple of years.
And DeLaSalle putting up 50 points in a half. If they played with a faster pace, and that's not to say they should, but I mean, we got a glimpse of how quickly they can light up the scoreboard. Yeah, again, we're not used to that. They like to grind it out, wear you out defensively. They're not like Stillwater or Hopkins that like to floor it and score 80 points a night.
And as a coach, you know, if you're not used to defending against that, coming into the section playoffs, that might be a little bit of a not easy adjustment to make.
That's what Hill Murray's going to have to contend with, and they're doing this without Elena Jones.
Right.
The D1 Idaho State commit.
Sid's not afraid.
Not at all. 3-ball corner pocket for Sydney Nurjei. And DeLaSalle goes up to 82.
And you can see that shots boosted her confidence a little bit. Look, she's up on defense. And she likes that corner pocket.
What a way to end the regular season with your highest scoring game of the year.
And she's going back out to that corner pocket again.
Nurjei,
Yeah.
she's lining up. She's in position. Williams is going to take it herself. Galloway says, I don't think so.
Yeah, not today.
Mia Curtis, she wants that 3. Gets the step back move.
Good box
Like
out
we
there.
said, idolizes James Harden. Nurjei.
Ooh.
Step back of her own.
Ooh.
Pure.
Nice step back, Sid. Nice step back.
So Mia's not the only one with the little Harden flair.
Yeah.
Now, if you can master the double step back. Wow. So you and me and a few of our closest friends on hand for this one. Someone's tired, they said. How could you be tired? Sleeping. This is the biggest game of the week, if not the whole year. Wow, look at this, though. I remember covering the DeLaSalle Cretan series, and the audience is just as full.
Yeah.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw another note. Lachey Holt, I think, is up there from Humboldt, and St. Kate's, the all-time leading scorer in St. Catherine's history. Yeah, she's out here.
Yeah, we got everybody here.
Well,
Everybody's
we
here.
already knew that.
Yeah, we
It's
had
just
everybody
amazing
here.
looking at all the names that are here in this facility. And we've got something going on over at the DeLaSalle student section. I don't know what it is.
It's called excitement.
Well, excitement does fit. Another member of that coaching staff with basketball experience. She's been around for a while, Sadiqa Jihad, the daughter of Emil Jihad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it looks like DeLaSalle has their reserves in now.
A few of them. Mia Curtis, bounce pass over to Galloway. Weems stayed with it.
Weems is not playing at all today.
I said the pump fake works only every single time. Apparently there's an exception that applies to Nurjei Weems.
Yes.
That's Isabella Benjamin out there for the Islanders, number 30, and number 12, McGuire Murphy. What a move! Sydney Nurjei.
She's feeling it.
Sydney giving us a little glimpse of what we can see next year.
You know, fun facts about Sid. Sid and DeMaio would come into practice, and I want to say Sid was probably 3rd grade and DeMaio was 5th grade, and they would scrimmage against our varsity team. They've been playing basketball for a long time.
So who would win those battles?
You know, they definitely held their own. They held their own, and 3rd and 4th grade, or 3rd and 5th grade, it was our Washington team.
That may be our first traveling call tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've had a traveling call up until that point.
No, we haven't. I can't recall one.
A stark contrast as Williams goes up, a stark contrast to the Twin Cities game where it seemed like there was a traveling call every other play. It was a rough game, and I think the late start may have thrown everyone off their game a little bit.
Yeah.
Making them a little more jittery, but
And
hallmark of a good team, winning the ugly games.
And, with those two teams, Como and South, you have a bunch of guards. They got a bunch of handles. Here, your guards are a little bigger. They're going to stick with the basics. You're going to see your crossovers, your behind the back, between the legs. You're not going to see all of the and one mixtape attempts.
Well, the fan of me would love to see what would happen in the Section 4 3A bracket. But then again, it'll be just as exciting to see in Section 4 if Stillwater can end their 31-year drought of section titles.
And if that's the case, we should give Willie Coach of the Year. We should give him a raise and an additional gym.
They've already clinched the conference title.
He is doing an excellent job at Stillwater.
It was no different at St. Paul Central. Weems goes up to 20 after she splits at the line. So Nora Francois with 25, Weems with 20. It looks like she'll be done for the day. What a game, though. Nurjei Weems, Nora Francois. I can't wait to see what those two bring next year.
Oh, yeah. We'll be right here.
Well, I'll probably be at a few other gyms, too. I'm sure there's a few Maranatha folks that wouldn't mind seeing me out at Brooklyn Park.
And they're going to have a super dynamic team. There's some really dynamic 8th graders that run the floor well, guard that'll push the ball. It's going to be nice to see that team develop.
The celebration is on. The fans are giving the salute to the girls for another dominant win over Minnehaha. Didn't go to running time, but DeLaSalle, they'd only scored 80 points once. 88 tonight.
Welcome to the island. This is what happens.
They want 90. They won't get it. Well, you can't have everything. Got to save a little for the sections.
No fouls, ladies. None needed. Let's just close this out.
Gallo for 3. Rattles it in.
Rattles it in, yeah.
Gallo will finish with 12. DeLaSalle will run out the clock and cap off a wire-to-wire win, 88-59 the final. 25 points from Nora Francois, 20 from Nurjei Weems. And how about that pressure defense and the post play? DeLaSalle, they brought the energy, they brought the hustle and the intensity. Minnehaha just couldn't match up.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to match up against DeLaSalle, whatever team you are. And like you said, Minnehaha Academy, they're going through some transition right now, but they held their head up. They continued to play throughout the game. They had a couple of players get in some foul trouble, so we'll see what they look like next year.
Well, then they still have a section run this year and a potential state tournament trip. Tatum Rhodes with 19 to lead the Redhawks. Mia Curtis with 16. And DeLaSalle, as we said before, they figure it out around this time of the year. And 2019, no exception. So we are going to bring a couple of DeLaSalle players up at halftime of the next game because the boys are going to take the floor. So we'll have Weems and Nora Francois join us. But for now, we'll take a break and bring you the boys portion of this doubleheader here at Nicollet Island. You're watching high school basketball.